Welcome back to Food News Wednesdays, where we round up this week's tastiest stories. My name is Chris, and I got a level with you. It's a slow news week. Look, while there were definitely news stories that occurred, the reality is, between the Northeast being buried under a blanket of snow and people adhering to their New Year's resolutions for at least a couple of weeks, we haven't seen the equivalent of this happen. So instead this week, I'm gonna pivot and do things just a little bit different, and I'm gonna reminisce about the good old days of McDonald's. McDonald's was a special place when I was a kid, and seriously, why not? All their advertising was marketed directly at me. Lots of kids that I knew held their birthday parties at the McDonald's caboose, where I would order a 4-piece Happy Meal of McNuggets with honey for dipping, and then I'd get sugar drunk on that orange drank that they served, and then I'd completely trash the place with can after can of silly string topped with a layer of orange drank vomit. One summer, I seem to vividly recollect that I was pressuring my parents to visit as frequently as possible while I tried to collect all 4 Garfield toys during a late 80s promotion. And somehow I got this stupid pink skateboard Garfield like 8 times over, when all I wanted was the scooter with Odie in the sidecar. Come on, Mom and Dad, couldn't you figure out what I meant when I said, I really want the one with the Garfield toy? Get it together, guys. Well, I've aged. McDonald's has aged, and their characters have long since retired, as well as a lot of their old menu items. So, today I'm gonna look back on 5 McDonald's items that I wish that they would bring back.
All beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, on sesame seeds.
McDonaldland Cookies, the perfect finish to any McDonald's Happy Meal. You know, as the orange stuff starts swirling around in your stomach and creates a violent internal motion sickness from even a seated position, children need the equivalent to theme park sawdust to keep that vomit at bay, and that's where these crappy cookies came in. They were shaped like your worst nightmares, and these tasteless, rock-hard treats came in a colorful array of boxes that convinced children they were a lot more fun than they actually were. Now, of course, today, you can get soft, fresh-looking cookies from the McCafe bakery window, which is not the McDonald's that I grew up on. I want stale, processed garbage, just the way the McDonald's brothers intended it.
All beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, on sesame seeds.
So this next one isn't a food so much as it is a concept.
When the clock strikes 6:30, babe, time to head for golden light.
Mac Tonight was this singing jazz crescent moon that encouraged McDonald's customers to visit McDonald's for supper tonight. Debuting in 1986 when I was 4 years old, he scared the out of me. No longer was I graced by the happy-go-lucky Ronald and the McNugget kids, where the worst fear they ever faced was having an obese purple blob with a severe learning disability as a best friend.
How do you do it? What's your secret?
Instead, this swinging piano man was howling after dark about Big Macs, and I can distinctly remember laying in bed one night, afraid that he was going to come in through my bedroom window, so I stared at my digital clock in my room for hours on end to ensure that I was ready for his attack. So now you're probably asking, why do I want to bring him back? Well, if I was subjected to his horror and I turned out to be the well-adjusted member of society that I am today, then children everywhere need to undergo the same McDonald's-based trauma. If I can't unsee him, then neither should any of your kids.
All beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, on sesame seeds.
This one is pure nostalgia. I can't actually tell you if the McPizza was any good, since I haven't had any since 1997, and in 1997, I was pretty sure that Pizza was good pizza, so 17-year-old Chris can't be trusted. So here's what I can tell you. I have super fond memories of that bacon cheeseburger pizza. Growing up, my mom cooked nearly every meal, but periodically, maybe once a month or so, we'd be given a treat. Oftentimes, it was the McPizza. It was inexpensive compared to other pizza chains, and I was every bit as satisfied with it. I'm not alone. This past summer, when McDonald's tried to tease the return of a long-lost favorite, the Canadian internet blew up, and McPizza was immediately trending. I know all the reasons why we can't have it. It's ineffective in the fast-paced McDonald's world to have anything that takes that long to cook, and the pizza ovens take up an obnoxious amount of counter space, and all that's great. But there is one big reason that it needs to come back. We loved it. And really, doesn't love conquer all?
To all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, on a sesame seed bun.
Okay, so my Canadian friends are gonna be left scratching their heads with this one, but you have to remember that pre-pandemic, I was basically a dual citizen with the frequency with which I traversed the border. The Mighty Wings were available in the fall of 2013 in the USA, and they were a colossal flop, and I have absolutely no idea why. America confuses me. Y'all are ordering wings from Domino's, who oven bake their undersized pigeon wings to a rubbery, slimy finish. But then you couldn't support the McDonald's wings that were super crunchy, always fresh because they generally didn't have them ready when you arrived. Then they had a fantastic spice in the breading. Honest to God, the difference between the McDonald's wings and say Domino's wings is like being offered an all-expenses paid trip to Vegas, but then turning it down because you'd rather stay at home and eat Domino's wings. I legit can't think of anything worse. When McDonald's wants to try this again, I am absolutely prepared to act as their spokesman. I'll bite into that breading with the ferocity of a dinosaur. It'll be the crunch heard around the internet. And hey, I'm a social marketing guru, guys. I do have 230 subscribers here on the YouTube. It's money.
To all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, on a sesame seed bun.
When I was 6 years old, I got to tour a McDonald's kitchen with the Beavers. And if you don't know what the Beavers are, I'm gonna leave that a mystery. But during our tour, we were shown around by employees wearing these very official looking fast food outfits. They felt important. Like you could only wear this outfit when you were in, the special kind of person that works at McDonald's. Today's outfits are corporate and modern, and I hate them. Those older outfits said, this is an experience. Today's outfits say, we're a publicly traded company and this was the least offensive thing our marketing team could come up with. Bring back your personality, Mickey D's. I want silly hats on your cashiers, a guarantee that smiles are free, and the ever-lingering threat that the Hamburglar is gonna scream "Robble, robble" as he runs off with your dinner. But hey, that's just me. And until I can get my hands on a DeLorean and go back to the past, I can only live in the present. So my ask to you is to tell me what you want to see make a comeback at the Golden Arches. Comment below, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to the channel. I'll be back next Wednesday with another food news roundup. And until then, my name is Chris, and that's news to me.